and welcome to Studio
Set
Stage, a weekly podcast with us, Cynthia Mallard
and Marq Dean, where we take you from the studio to the set to the stage
in the world of entertainment.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to Studio Set Stage. I'm Cynthia Mallard.
And I'm Marq Dean.
Hey guys, so happy to have you back post Super Bowl in the ATL. I know. You know what? It worked out. I gotta say this. I know it's like 4 or 5 days after Super Bowl, but I have to say this. I am so happy about how many people boycotted the Super Bowl. I mean, honestly, I really am all behind Cap with the hashtag I am with Cap. So big ups to you.
Yes, indeed. It had the lowest ratings in the 10-year history. In the last decade. This Super Bowl had the lowest ratings. And no throwing,
no shade. No shade, but you know what? It just shows you when we stick together, we can make some things happen. So I guarantee you, the owners are somewhere trying to figure out, okay, how can we get these ratings back up? So
yes, indeed. When you strategically hit them where the bottom line, where you see that
in them pockets, baby, that money.
Yes, indeed. And so I kudos again to all those that didn't have to be a rebel rouser, but they silently protested.
What's a rebel rouser?
Well, there's somebody that raises hell, pretty much. Raises purity hell.
Well, cool. Well, like I said, big ups to our city, ATL. We hosted the Super Bowl. Great job. But moving on, talking about the GRAMMYs. This weekend, and like we always say, Studio Set Stage, we're here to kind of help you out, not do what everybody else is doing, talking about all the celebrities.
Right, we definitely going to give you news you can use, information you can use. And, this weekend, like you said, Cynthia, the GRAMMYs is happening February 10th, televised on CBS. Hosted by Alicia Keys.
Yay, Alicia. Big ups to my girl. I love Alicia Keys. I absolutely love her.
And, but the GRAMMYs is no stranger to controversy.
Controversy with the GRAMMYs too. We just came from the NFL. Now we got to go to the GRAMMYs with controversy.
Oh, yeah, but this,
it's always something.
Like I said, the GRAMMYs is no stranger to it. As a matter of fact, there has been news that Kendrick Lamar, Childish Gambino, has declined to perform.
My man, Donald Glover?
Yeah, Childish Gambino.
So they said that
the producers, and just long story short, the producers had invited Childish Gambino, Danny, and Drake and Kendrick Lamar to perform, but they all declined.
So Drake, Childish Gambino, and who else?
Drake, Childish Gambino, and Kendrick Lamar.
Oh my God, that's a blow.
But check this out. Wow. Kendrick Lamar has the most nominations. Wow. He has 8 nominations for the 2019 Grammys. So, I think with them, but like I said, Grammys have not been strangers because in the past, there have been some practices that have been done, even with the televised nominations.
So I'm trying to figure out. Hold before we jump too far. So what's the deal? So it's just announced that these guys they just basically was like, no, we got better things to do. Like what's popping? Like what's happening?
Well, there's always been kind of that clash. There's always been a conflict in the hip hop world. Starting back, and just to give you a little history on it, dating back to when Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, they won the first Grammy. But from that time, this was like in the late 80s, but they neglected to televise them winning the awards.
I think I remember that.
So they kind of started a protest saying, well, hey, you're going to have these other genres, televised, but you're not going to televise hip hop.
Saying that ours is just less important, basically, at the time.
Well, there are several nominations, and you guys can go on.
So is that why
Google it.
Drake and them? So what are they saying? They're saying that
they're basically saying because of the treatment of the last several Grammys, where you've had hip hop artists that were nominated. However, they were not included in the big nominations, as you will, like Album of the Year, Song of the Year, Producer of the Year.
Okay.
However, these were some of the biggest selling, charting projects within that particular year.
Wow.
But there is a disconnect because on both sides, I do feel that they have been overlooked, but I think in turn, the artists need to understand there's a process to it as well.
So what? So Drake and Kendrick Lamar, were they not nominated in the big categories? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's been the thing. Yeah, I believe that the number is as well as, like you say, the charts, the sales, what reflects on that should dictate the nominations.
Or who should get the award, exactly.
And who should get the award.
Exactly.
However, this is not based on popular, it's not People's Choice.
Okay.
Like a People's Choice Award, they survey, those that view or listen. So it's based solely on the fans.
Okay.
Versus the Grammys, where those nominations, you have to be a member. You have to be a member of the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences.
So it's the members that are voting on.
It's the members that are voting.
The nominations.
Exactly.
Right, I got you.
It's the members that are voting. Okay. So, with change, it starts from the inside. So I encourage, if you guys want to see more inclusion in those things and being a member myself, you have to start from the inside and understand the process and get involved, because once you get involved, then, those things can be changed, because they definitely had some major changes based on kind of the feedback, kind of the pushback that's been going on. As with Jay-Z, years ago, he was like, no, I'm not going to play the Grammys, and that can kind of spill over as people be saying, well, I'm not doing it because such and such is not doing it. But if you don't get involved, you don't know the real process, and it's just hearsay.
But Drake and Kendrick Lamar, they're basically just upset because they are not in the top nominations. That's basically.
Well, I was reading an article where the producer was basically stating, the producer of the Grammys, he commented on the criticism, and he said that, the thing is, rappers and hip hop artists, they feel that they are, they're not really, they're not really involved. They're not really, represented properly.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. And just in, okay, well, our projects, we work hard on these projects and we produce them and we have all our I's dotted and T's crossed.
Yeah, but who's campaigning for you behind the scene? Right. Exactly.
So, but there is a process with that. And, I remember a story a couple of years ago dealing with the Neptunes.
Yeah.
Charts, they had songs on the charts, numerous songs on the charts, but they weren't nominated.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So, they really, was like, man, we're not nominated for anything, but we're on the Billboard charts. We're on these several charts, but we're not nominated. Are you a member?
And they were
Recording Academy.
And they were not members, right?
They were not members.
Now, to become a member, do you have to get a invitation, or how does that work once you get to that level?
No, you don't have to get it. I mean, independent artists right now, if you're an independent artist, you can become a member of the Recording Academy.
Okay, yeah.
And it's the national, it's the Recording Academy of Arts and Sciences. Okay. So you can go on their website. You can go to Grammy.com. You can go to NARAS.com, and you can become a member. Now, there is a fee. I think the membership fee, is around $150. I think it's right at $150 now. But they also have what is called Grammy U.
Oh, wow.
And these are for, this focuses on education, and they do try to reach out. And I'm talking beneath all the glitz and glamour and all of that with the show, really talking about the process. So with Grammy U,
they focus on the younger people, right?
They focus on students all the way going into high schools, going to schools, and just kind of giving them background about the Recording Academy.
Yeah.
And about the Grammys. So when you can use that information, you can use that knowledge to proceed accordingly because you already got the process. You got it locked down.
Well, I also heard that Ariana Grande, is that how you say her name? Ariana Grande?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. I heard that she had declined also to actually perform at the Grammys too, man.
Well, yeah, she was slated to perform, but hers was a little different.
Okay.
She had, I guess, a run-in with the producers. I guess she wanted to perform a particular song. They wanted her to perform another song, and they just clashed heads. So, she felt disrespected. And so in turn, she said, well, I'm not going to perform that song. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to perform.
So you don't have Drake, you don't have Kendrick Lamar, who else? You don't have Ariana Grande. I mean, of course, the Grammy Awards is like much bigger than those 3 or 4 artists or whatever. But
and there's some other people. I think
they're significant. Though.
I don't believe Taylor Swift will be there, even though she's nominated. Taylor Swift, I don't think she's going to be there as well.
Okay.
But I think it's still going to be some representation from some artists that we all know. And for nominations, I don't want to run down the whole list, but you guys can go on Grammy.com and look at all that.
Yeah.
But the show is going to be aired Sunday, February 10th. And hopefully it'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
Your entertainer or the person that you like might not be performing. But, I just say this, beyond all of that, get involved, understand what it is.
And how you get the nominations and how you get on the radar and stuff like that.
And then getting involved so you can create change. If you see, well, man, we're being underrepresented. We're not being, they're focusing on, or they don't even know the genre. Well, if you're in this genre and you're kicking up dust, but you're not a member, they're going to go with what the members are. What they know is what they know. And some of it could be racially motivated, all of that stuff, But the key is, before you start pointing the fingers, you got to look back. They say you point a finger, you got 4 pointing back at you. So you got to understand first. Now you get in, you realize, and you acclimated to the process, and then you see, okay, this is what's going on. Then speak on it.
Right. Well, you know what? I want to talk about how amazing is it that Alicia Keys is hosting the Grammys, because like I said, when it was announced or whatever, I think a lot of people were like very surprised, because no one ever thought that she was actually going to host. I mean, she hosted other shows, but the Grammys, that was a big step up for her, in my opinion.
And she's won several of them.
Multi Grammy winner, right?
So she's definitely. I think they did a great
qualified, choice. Exactly.
They did a great choice.
She always, I'm gonna tell you, she's also very socially conscious too. That's what I love about her. Every time Alicia Keys speaks, every time she steps up to the podium, she has something very profound to say.
Right.
Things that will help us as a people move forward. So I'm happy they got her. I was kind of looking for LL Cool J again, which he's hosted 20 years now.
No, he hasn't hosted that long, but he has. He's. LL has had a great run. He's been an awesome host.
Yeah.
And that's, kudos. Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day, so, I do give the Grammys props for having that much diversity to include, a hip hop legend.
Yeah.
LL
for all
Cool
those
J,
years, yeah.
For all those years.
Yeah, and now a black woman, a leading black woman in the music industry who will be helming the show. Go girl.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I think, watching the nominations, seeing all of those things is cool. And, just amidst the performances that I would like to see, they're not going to happen, but nevertheless, the show goes on.
Who you want to see, Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Oh man, dude, that would be awesome if Earth, Wind and Fire.
I was trying to be funny.
Right. No, but seriously.
You want to see Lionel Richie? Yeah.
Well, Lionel might be there.
Just be. I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he will be from Tuskegee home, man. But I'm just making fun. But it's so interesting. We're talking about music since the Grammys are airing this Sunday for Studio Set Stage. But we saw a clip with Chaka Khan, right? She was talking to Steve Harvey. Many of you guys, if you watched Steve Harvey, you saw the clip also. And Chaka Khan, I think he asked Chaka Khan, he's like, what are you missing? What did he ask her? What are you missing in today's music, right? And Chaka Khan replied, talent.
That was one of the comments.
Do you feel the same way? Like,
I think, coming from where Chaka comes from, you got to think about,
Chaka Khan.
Yeah, Chaka Khan is a legend.
Yeah, icon.
And she's an icon and a legend. But she was just talking about working with Prince as well, and and
working with everybody.
Yeah, man. I mean, she was talking about her, Prince, and Miles Davis. Was talking about collaborating on a project. Man, so you got to think about the depth that
she brings to the table. Exactly.
And what she's seen and what she's experienced. Yeah. And, it's just generation, but, you have to take heed and know that, and she's not the only one. I mean, there are people that feel like a lot of the music out there now is cookie cutter based.
It is crap.
It's garbage. They feel like, okay, I don't understand what the hell is.
Like how they even get into the business. Well, you know what? Right. And she also, another point that she had brought to the table was that she said people are in it for the wrong reasons now.
Right.
She's like, why are you here? Why is this what you really want to do with your life? Mm-hmm. Or are they focusing on just like the glitz and the glamour and the money? Yeah.
And those things can really blind you from, your craft. And that's so true. I remember Danny Glover, he said, if you take care of your craft will take care of you. And you have to know that. And in this thing, that's what makes the difference. It separates the one-hit wonders from the icons, the legends that, you could have a career in this thing for decades. Look at Aretha Franklin. For example, all of those. And you're saying, well, it was a different time. But no, I mean, the platform that's now that it as the entertainment industry, where it's considered a DIY platform, you have many tools and resources, but you have to know where to start first. And I think that goes back to what Chaka was saying. It first starts with the talent, understanding, and really looking at, okay, what strength? I mean, I'm strong in it. And then building on that, but then knowing where to apply the business into it.
Well, I just think that the talentless, it sounds so bad, but I think the talentless people who are out here, who are on the charts and things like that, I mean, I don't think it's their fault. I think it's been, like you said, it's the record label's fault. They're not looking at talent anymore. Now to sell records, you got to be, look a certain way, have a certain length hair, have a certain amount of type clothing. They're looking at everything else besides, what they used to look at, 30, 40 years ago. They're not looking at the raw, can this person, hit a, whatever, was an octave 8 note. They're not looking at that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, some of the most talented people I've ever encountered or met in this thing, they never had a deal. Never had a record deal. But man, they could sing their behinds off, or they could play the hell out of an instrument.
It's more than that now.
But it's more than that, especially when it comes to that with the business. I think the thing that separates it is that you can have someone with a third of the talent, but they understand the process to this thing. They understand, okay, this is a business. I need a team, knowing how to market, knowing all of those things plays into it, because at the end of the day, it's a business, and they say, and some of the minions would say talent comes a dime a dozen, but that's how they look at it. the executives look at it. And if they feel like, okay, especially in this do-it-yourself format, they feel like, okay, well, they don't hold hands. There's no artist development going on.
Right.
There's none of that. That's dead and gone. You know, they still say, well, I'm an A&R. Okay. But are you really an A&R? You know, based on that, because right now, where content is considered king right now, and you have all of these different platforms and all this accessibility to get your stuff out there, it becomes cluttered, it becomes saturated, and then that's where, you know, it gets jacked up, because they don't understand the process or where to start. You know.
So let me ask you a question. I'm guess I'm asking this question also for some people who want to know, why was the development cut out? When you think about, I mean, you know, like I said, artist development, all that type of thing, years ago used to be part of the package, and now it's not there anymore. Like, what happened?
Well, there are some that still look at development, but a lot of that, they feel like, okay, if you're strong enough, we're going to offer you a deal. Especially now with there are no gatekeepers where it used to be. Like when, you know, I came into it, you know, they would have artists, they would have divisions where, you know, they would first take you in the studio, take you through the process,
groom you,
kind of groom you. Say, we're going to give you a developmental deal. Where you go in and get acclimated to the recording process and all of that. Now, where you used to have a deal to have access to a recording studio, you can actually get a laptop now, and you can have all that software, almost $100,000-$200,000 worth of software on your laptop.
Right. Gotcha.
And you can record within the comfort of your home. So with technology, you know, it has leveled the playing field. And, you know, actually coming from the standpoint of an independent artist, you know, really, you know, it eliminates those things. So you really don't have to go necessarily have to be signed to get the development, because there's certain things that's tried and true. And that's why I say the process, you know, where you have all of these new, you know, with social media, but that's an illusion. You got to understand what's tried and true in the development. If you are that good, you sing your butt off and you perform, well, you need to be performing. You need to, you know, I mean, wherever you are, if you're looking at, you know, now I will say Atlanta, you know, being in Atlanta, it kind of spoils you, because there is a great
community here.
Creative community here.
Exactly.
Where open mics, where you can perform, festivals, different.
You could be on a corner. You could be on a corner and actually be discovered here. In Atlanta. So.
And it's not just here. There's several others. You know,
New York. Lots of other places. Yeah.
Austin.
Yes.
You know, Cali, of course.
Tennessee.
You know, Tennessee.
Yeah, Nashville.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And even Florida. Florida has some great opportunities there. But you got to understand that, you know, it's the tried and true. You got to perform. You know, you have to be able to understand engaging with the artist, kind of knowing, you know, and first understanding, well, if I'm performing and I'm creating this song, what's my target?
Yeah.
Understanding all those things.
Well, it just goes back to like, what are you doing? And it goes for anything. Studio, set, stage. If you're doing like voiceover, you're doing acting, you're doing singing. Right. You have to ask yourself, like, what are you doing? I'm actually going to be talking about this, I think, in my future post coming up this next week of Studio, set, stage, of Media Mondays and Thespian Thursdays.
Right.
But honestly, you're listening to Studio, set, stage right now. Like, think about, what are you doing? You know, when it comes to theatrics, you know, are you in a play? You know, are you on a set? Are you auditioning every day or every week or so, like that? You know, like you just said with music, you know, are you gigging? You know, or do you have events set up to where somebody can hear you play the saxophone, or are you auditioning where you're playing the drums? You have to ask yourself, what are you doing? Are you just going to your 9 to 5? The 9 to 5 is totally not related to what you really want to do in life. You have to go and make time and actually do what you say that you want to do or that you are.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, just like I stated, in my post this past week. Actions speak louder than words, especially when it comes to business.
Yeah.
And, just with this thing in entertainment and music, it's a craft. And you have to,
let me stop you. It's a craft. Yeah. But I think it's even more so of a lifestyle. I think it's a daily lifestyle.
Oh yeah,
like you have to live it.
I agree, and
you have to live it.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. But I'm saying though, with a craft, you hone your skill. You have to develop it.
I get it.
Even though you might have natural, you might be gifted. You might have the gift.
Yeah.
But you have to work the gift.
Yeah. But lifestyle, what I mean is like
lifestyle.
You wake up, right. In a lifestyle, like people say, your sedentary lifestyle. Let's just use that. I'm saying, hey, I worked out today. So you work, you wake up, and it has to be on your brain from like, say you get up at 6 a.m. to like when you go to bed at night. That's whatever you're doing that entire time, whatever you're thinking about, that is your lifestyle.
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you saying. I mean, look, there are cheaper hobbies.
Yeah.
And you have to look at this more than just a hobby.
Right.
This is a lifestyle. And with your lifestyle, you invest.
Yeah.
You invest time, you invest resources, you invest into it.
Exactly.
It's a habitual thing. And it becomes part of your DNA. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. And we want to just encourage you. We thank you, all the listeners out there that's been listening, subscribing to the Studio Set Stage podcast. These are things we want to bring home to you. It's not for the faint. There are no rules, but there is a process.
We say that every week.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully, those of you who are listening, you kind of understand, you kind of get it.
Right.
But just definitely from this episode, like I said, the Grammys are airing Sunday, but it's more important about like what are you doing, and like Mark, like you said, knowing the process, knowing that you need to be affiliated with a lot of these organizations for you to even infiltrate them and be considered on a certain level. Right. You have to affiliate, and you got to be doing something. Right now, if you take nothing else from this podcast, the number one thing is, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Exactly. Are you out there in the streets? Are you trying to get some gigs? Are you trying to get on a stage? Are you trying to get in front of a camera? If you're trying to be maybe a set dresser, who are you talking to possibly intern with them or to learn what they know?
Right. And it's funny you mentioned that, because so many people like to talk the talk. I know we're talking right now. We're having this dialogue, but this is a podcast. So, and what we're doing is we're taking our experience, our expertise, and we want to pay it forward. And this is our way of doing that. And we want to make sure that you guys understand that with your gift, you have a certain responsibility. And so, understand that. But going back, not to get off on a tangent, I want to thank everybody for listening. And I just want to say that, we've gotten some great feedback this last week from the last episode. So it was awesome, and I just wanted to say, I know that was a sentimental moment, but
I might start crying right now.
Yeah, I know. Shed some tears.
Yeah, but no. In seriousness, it has been really great. And like I said, we're here to inspire. Okay, so don't forget, we're on all social platforms.
Yes.
IG, Facebook, Twitter, even LinkedIn. Catch up with us. If you're listening to the podcast, be sure to download, comment. Like I always say that, and every time I'm engaging on any social platform, engage with us. We'll definitely engage back.
Yes, indeed. At Studio Set Stage, and you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, and iHeartRadio.
Wherever you get your podcast, get it right now. Okay?
Get it right now. Go and get it. You're not doing nothing. I see you sitting down. Go and get it. I'm Mark Dean.
I'm Cynthia Mallard. This is Studio Set Stage, guys. Talk to you next time.
Take care.